I searched everywhere. I looked through hundreds of files, searched through my text messages. I even looked everywhere in my wardrobe, but I just couldn't find where I asked for your opinion.
Hey y'all! Welcome to another episode of Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, where I scour the internet and I look for situations so I can offer my unsolicited opinions. Today's episode of Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah comes from Ask Bear. Ask Bear. Oh, I gotta look up where Ask Bear is the publication that publishes Ask Bear. But here we go. Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, someone told my friend to ask what she wants. How do I tell her it's too much? Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, I have a friend who has been in therapy for a while. Good. Which is really good because she needs it. Everybody knows that's my number one suggestion. Therapy. She's always struggled with depression and sometimes even suicide after awful family bullshit. They're cursing in Ask Bear. Oh, okay, Bear. Okay. In therapy, she is being encouraged to express. First of all, I can't with the title. Someone told my friend. The therapist told her patient. Okay. In therapy, she is being encouraged to express herself and ask for what she wants. I know that's right. She told me her therapist said she needs to take the wheel and drive, not just sit in the back seat and hope, which is great in theory, but in practice, she is kind of heedless and thoughtless of what else is happening and just boldly states. I've never really heard that phraseology. She boldly states what she wants to happen, no matter what else is going on. People are negotiating, or she's asking, but it sounds like a command, or she asks something at a terrible time. Clearly, she's proud of her new skill, but not aware of the effects it's having. Some other friends and I have started discussing it. It's just too much. And I feel very unclear about what to do. Like, yes, ask for what you want, but maybe not like that. I'm not a therapist, so what do I know? Except that she's swiftly alienating her friend group. Qadriyyah Safiyyah, what do I do or say to her? I have a friend who's been in therapy for a while, which is really good. She's always struggled with depression. And sometimes even suicide. So she's in therapy for depression and sometimes suicide. And her therapist, the licensed professional, has told her that she encourages her to express herself and ask for what she wants. And then she says in practice, she's kind of heedless and thoughtless of what else is happening and just baldly states what she wants to happen no matter what else is going on. People are negotiating, or she's asking, but it sounds like a command, or she asks something at a terrible time. Clearly, she's proud of her new skill, but not aware of the effects it's having. Some other friends and I have started discussing it. It's just way too much. And I feel very unclear. You suck as a friend. And I hope she continues, because what's happening is she's feeling her way through. Like when you don't do something and you start doing it, there is no balance in it. There's no balance in it, because you were over here to the left, not doing it at all, right? Just, what did she say? What did it say? She's not just sitting back and hoping. So she's encouraged to express herself and ask for what she wants. So now she's, on the other side of it. And it may take her some time to find the balance. If she's alienating, what is it? That she's alienating her friend group, she might grow out of y'all. You might be the friend that's okay with the person that she was. You might be a little bit of toxicity, which makes sense because whatever space she was in before she started therapy, that was a space that she was in when she attracted you. And if she attracted you as a friend, while she was in therapy, that was the space she was in. So it makes sense that as she goes through therapy and as she's healing, and I'm glad that she is taking her therapist's advice and suggestions and not yours of it's too much. It's too much for you. It's too much for you. And it was probably too much for her family. It was probably too much for the people who were in her life that supported the way she was living, right? But now she is learning how to express herself and ask for what she wants. So if her expressing herself, and it could be too, it could be, you gave no examples, very vague, which seems like maybe you kind of knew that your examples were trash and not enough for your friend group to discuss this. But I would hate for you to comment to your friend in an attempt to put her back in a space where she's not expressing herself or not asking for what she wants or doing it in a way that makes you comfortable. Like she's learning how to get out of that mode. Because that's a lot of times what happens in depression. And especially in this case, it seems like there were maybe some people pleasing going on, or, trying to be who other people think you are or really want you to be, right? Trying to be that person that your mom or dad wants you to be. And now that she is healing, she's learning how to be herself and ask for, it sounds like she's setting boundaries, ask for what she wants, right? And it's inconvenient to you. Boundaries are going to be inconvenient. Ask for what she wants. So you're used to you all going out, and it may have been in the past that, you all went out and she just went along with things, and now she's not, and it's kind of shaking up the group, and you all are discussing it, and you all have decided that her healing, it's too much. This process is too much for you as friends. And she needs to tone it down. She needs to reel it back in. I would suggest if you are sincerely her friend, and if you are sincerely her friend, you're saying, what do I do? You support her, or say to her, you say, great job. Because she's figuring out her way. She's going to figure it out. right? And if she's still going to therapy, that's who she's going to talk to about this. That's who she's going to, her therapist is going to ask her, well, how did it go? How did it go this week expressing yourself, Natalie? How did it go this week asking for what you want? And she's going to talk to her therapist about it. And her therapist will give her helpful feedback. That's why she goes to therapy. But you as her friend, you may want to go to therapy. Because you might be toxic. If her expressing herself and asking for what she wants is too much for you, you may need to call and see how many, because some jobs, they give you like maybe 10 sessions without having to pay for it. You might want to see if your job has that, because you might be a teens, just a church toxic. Other than going to therapy yourself, what do you do? Let's see. If your friend is being too much, if she's expressing herself too much, if she's asking what she wants for what she wants too much, how long has this been going on? How long has this been going on? Because it doesn't seem, well, she asked for something at a terrible time. Okay. If this has been going on for years, like if she's been in therapy and she's been expressing herself and asking for what she wants for years, and she hasn't found the balance, then I feel like if she's been expressing herself and asking for what she wants for 5 years now, and it's too much, then I would say, you can address her in terms of just working on, I don't even know. I cannot even advise you to talk to her about it, because what are you going to say? Go back in the box? Tone it down so that you can make me more comfortable? I think I just have to advise you to do your own therapy. And if you as friends drift apart, I think that's okay too. Like, I think it's okay if her healing causes her not to be in the same space with friends so when a person is depressed, they're not going to attract the same people as when they're not depressed. So it makes sense that your friendship has run its course. So, and that's okay. That's not on anyone. It's okay if who she is, if she is learning to be more of herself, right? And and more of herself is too much for you, there's nothing for you to say to her about that. That's really something you need to reflect on personally. Like, why is her being more of herself too much for me, right? So I'm going to go back to suggesting therapy. You might want to ask her for her therapist, right? Because it seems like she's making progress. And that's the point in therapy, progress. So I would say that she's been going, first of all, kudos to her for going to therapy, sticking with therapy, listening to her therapist, using her therapist's suggestions and advice in real life, right? And you might want to get a referral to that therapist and maybe your other friends. Because if you all are sick, maybe you want to do a friend therapy session since you all are Instead of talking without a licensed professional, maybe you should get a licensed professional to have that conversation so that you all can ask the licensed professional what to do. Okay? All right, y'all. Much success to us all.